Hello and welcome to Lions Lane for the final game of the season, Appleton versus Woodford. Thanks as always to our sponsors Axminster Tools and Machinery. So final day of the season, situation is very simple. Whoever loses this game is guaranteed to be relegated, both teams in the relegation zone at the minute. Whoever wins has a good chance of staying up as long as Irby don't win at Maritime away. So Appleton batting first. I believe they lost a toss. Appleton need 25 points today, maximum points, so they've obviously batted first. Rick Clark and Matty Paltridge opening up the batting. It's a steady start. A couple of runs off the first over. Rick Clark on strike there. Pulls that one away through square leg. And I believe that's the first boundary of the day. 6 for naught off the first 2 overs. So Woodford opening up with a spinner from the other end. Chucked in a new ball. That's a nice shot over the top from Ricky. 4 runs. So a steady start for Appleton, going about 2 and over at the moment. And that's a nice shot from Matty. Just punching that one through the covers for 4. So it's a 45 over game, 45 aside. Win, lose or draw. So the draw's on the table as Rick hits a big 6 over cow corner there. So a draw for Appleton won't do. They need to bowl Woodford out in the second innings to get their 25 points. As Matty starts to get going a little bit now, a nice 6 over the top. 39 off best part of 11 overs. Rick goes big again, similar shot to his first 6, smacks that one over mid-wicket cow corner-ish. So there's Matty playing his last game for the club. Matty is our Kiwi overseas player this season. He's done well for us, scored a few runs, nice lad. Sad to see him leave. I'm sure he's enjoyed his time over here, seems to have settled in quite well, scored a few runs, scored 100, quite a few 50s, so. Oh, steady on. Matty almost gets himself run out there. A little bit of a footwear malfunction. So 76 off 26.2. And here I had to tamper with the camera a little bit. The batteries ran out, so I had to attach a charger. I missed 2 balls out of the whole game. And it just so happened one of those balls was the first wicket of the day. Matty got bowled. So apologies to the bowler. Gareth, I believe his name was, but I missed your first wicket. And that's a big shout for LBW. Chris Morrison's first ball, bit of a nervy start there. So the very next over, Rick goes over the top, doesn't quite get hold of it, and is caught right in front of the camera there at mid-off. Rick goes for 40. Wahab takes the wicket there. Matty went for 36, I should have said earlier. And 2 bring 3 wickets. That's Ian McCauley gets a nasty one there, keeps low, shoots through, and he goes for naught. So 76 for 3. A mini collapse here. Appleton were looking good. 3 wickets lost for no run. There's a shaky bit of running there between Martin, Cooper and Chris. I think Chris would have just about been safe, but he's not too pleased with the call from Martin there, by the looks of it. So 87 for 3 off 32. Runs have dried up a little bit since that wicket came along, or those wickets rather. That's a lovely shot from Chris there. Shot of the day so far for me, that one. Straight drive. 2 straight for mid-on, 4 runs. And there's another bit of hesitancy there. And this time they don't get away with it. Chris is run out for 13. It's a shame because he was looking good, in good nick. Dave Lomas, next man in. He tickled a few singles before getting trapped LBW. I think he was fully expecting that one to be given out. Didn't even turn and look for the decision. He walks off. Dave goes for 3. So 108 for 5 now. 4 overs left. Appleton trying to scrape a few more runs before the end of the innings. It's quite a tricky pitch to bat on this one by the looks of it. Not much pace in the wicket, so although 118 doesn't look like a particularly good score, you never know. There's a sharp bit of field in there. In the 43rd over to run out Martin. He goes for 15. So 118 for 6. And last ball innings now. Alex Wright, the skipper. He's back, can't get any bat on that. And eventually dot ball brings an end to innings. 128 for 6. So it's not a great deal of runs on the board for Appleton, but it's something to bowl at least. So a great start, Matty and Rick. Opening partnership of 76. And then Chris Morrison, Martin Cooper were looking good, but eventually they both got run out in similar circumstances. So Woodford need 129 to win. Ammo, the vice captain, opening up the bowling as he has done all season. And that's a lovely positive start there for Woodford. Nice cover drive. Get a couple of runs for it. So Pete McShane opening up the bowling from the other end in the lovely September sunshine. Batsman gets a leading edge there, chips one up to Martin Cooper at mid-wicket. It's a great start for Appleton. 4 for 1, Woodford. Morehouse goes for 1. And Appleton something to G themselves up a little bit early on. Nice early breakthrough, and 1 brings 2. Ammo gets a wicket in his second over there. First ball of his second over. Chris takes the catch at mid-off. And all of a sudden, Woodford 5 for 2 in a little bit of trouble. And a big shout for caught behind. I think that was an inside edge. Saigon takes the catch. Ammo gets 2 in his second over. Marsden this time goes for 0. 5 for 3. Woodford in all sorts of trouble here early doors. Ammo, big shout for LBW there. Might have just been drifting down leg. Umpire wasn't having it. And that's a nice shot from Woodford bat there. Just alleviating some of the pressure. 11 for 3. And there's a little sneak behind yet. I think so. That's Pete McShane with his second wicket. 11 for 4. So Woodford struggling here. Metcalf goes for 8. A draw might not necessarily be the end of the world for Woodford. It might be enough for them to avoid relegation, but it would be unlikely unless they were to score a few more runs. So they really need to win this one. And that's a nice shot through mid-wicket there for 4. 30 for 4, so a little bit of a recovery here. They're steadily the ship. 21 overs gone. Ian McCauley, first change, bowling from the far end. Big shout for LBW there, and that gets given. 17. Mees goes for 17, LBW, batted well for his 17. But eventually Appleton get him. 30 for 5. And Alex Wright, who is first change from the near end, collapses in a heap there. I think he pulled a hamstring. He was hobbling around after the game. He did get up eventually, honestly. That's him at first slip there. And that's another one for Ian. Gets a sneak behind to Saigon Tomlinson. Clinch goes for 2. So 31 for 6. Wheels are coming off for Woodford. And one's chipped up to Chris Morrison. At mid-on, doesn't make any mistake there. Takes his second catch of the day, and that's the other clinch. Out for 0, 31 for 7. Appleton have got about 20 overs left to get the remaining wickets that they need. And there's one of them. Alex Wright gets an LBW. Anderson goes for 0. Remember, Appleton need to bowl Woodford out to win this game. It's no good. If they don't bowl them out, the game finishes as a draw. Ian McCauley still steaming in, and that's a big hit towards a fielder out at mid-wicket, deep mid-wicket, but can't get around, and that's 4. So the batsmen look like they're going to play some shots now. They don't want to die wondering. And there's another lovely shot. Absolutely creams that one through the covers. For 4. 41 for 8. So Ian steaming in. And there's a little feather there to Alex at slip, who takes it with his bad leg. Metcalf goes for 5. And it's Ian with 4 wickets now. And that one, Alex Wright still bowling despite his one leg, and the stump bears the brunt of a straight drive there. Saved the umpire a little bit of discomfort because it looked like it was heading straight for him. So we're in the 30th over now. That's a big whack. There's a man out on the fence off camera. He got a hand to it, I believe, but dropped it over the boundary for 6. I think Alex's reaction lets you know that he thought that one should have been held. So 51 for 9. The very next ball, same shot, different result this time. Catch is taken, and Appleton have bowled out Woodford for 51. Wahab, a late cameo, goes for 14. Matty Paltridge took the catch. So Appleton have done all they could. They've got the 25 points, and they were waiting for the result from Irby, who were playing at Maritime. And it took some time for that result to come through because this game finished quite a bit earlier than the others. Eventually, the news was in. Irby failed to win at Maritime, so Appleton stayed up by the skin of their teeth. 6 points there. Managed to avoid relegation. A quick look at the bowling figures. Ian Macaulay takes 4 wickets. Everybody else chips in with 2. A real team effort, and a great way to finish the season. Would have been a shame if we'd gone down. It's been a great effort this year. We're missing quite a few players from last season, and it's been a good effort from Amo, Alex and all the boys in the first team. So congratulations, gents, and we'll see you all next season.